Okay, we're back again. Okay, they're cleaned and machined, and now I gotta clean them again, but I gotta clean them with a CRC on the bore, get the rest of the bore out of it, and see how this goes. It's 3 o'clock now. We're just booming right along on this job. Maybe I'll get out here by 4. Yeah, I'm gonna hold my breath on that happening. Alright, I need a clean towel. And it looks semi-clean. We'll use this one. Make sure there's no lint in it. These fluffy ass damn towels that can collect lint and dirt like crazy. Okay. So this is our wiping material. Go in here and clean them out real good. See a little bit of brown in there, not too bad, but a little bit. First shot. Like working on my race bike. Working on all damn night, go race the next day. That's how we do it. This one, I don't have no fun with this one. Yeah, maybe the custom have fun. Okay. One more time. Looking pretty clean. Not drawing up too much in the way of dirt or anything that I can see. If you see any brown, you keep doing it. See, it looks pretty clean. You flip the rag around to the other side now. Alright, looks pretty nice. Good reflection going in there. Good sign. Oh, back's hurting. Damn label in the way. As you're going, you're kind of twisting a little bit too at the same time. Alright. Looks good. Good enough for who it's for. That's pretty much me every time, because it has to be good enough for me. If I don't like it, it don't go anywhere. Clean our table off. Alright. I'm getting tired. Okay, we gotta go through all the crap down here and find out what we're going to use. So we're going to use chrome nuts, chrome triangles, and rusty head bolts. We got to put 2 of these in there before the heads can go down. Missing a washer for that one. That one has a washer. I've had a washer. Oh, there's a washer there. It's just stuck on there. That basically just makes the bolt longer. Okay, the washers are all on there. They all are. Good. Oil line rubbers look new, so we'll keep those. Yep, looks pretty good. Yep, they look brand new. They probably are. Okay, we got kind of 8 nuts and 8 triangle washers. So these are basically wave washers, if you're familiar with metric hardware at all. That'd be called a lock washer. That's why they're pointed up. They used to have an actually bend to them a little bit. These ones, the bend is reversed. Yeah. These ones bend about opposite what they're supposed to be, like this, because they're warped. Because they've been torqued pretty good, which warped them. That's why I don't even bother using this crap. What do you need it for? Tighten the damn nut down, don't worry about it. Alright, so we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, and 8. There we go. 8 and 8. That's a good sign. You always got 8 of everything. Okay, these are our pistons that are going to go in. We're going to reuse the rings because he doesn't want to put new ones on it. At least last I heard. Basically, they have no mileage on them. You can see how the piston's already trying to scuff. That's not good. This side's good. A little chunko went through right there. So what we need to do is file on these a little bit because they're a little bit too rough for my taste. So you grab a doll file. Run it across the surfaces here. Knocks off any high stuff. Okay, wipe it down real good. Use a clean rag. Preferably olive drab color. Alright, a little bit of scuff mark there, but it's gone now. High spots are all cut off now. Alright, so that's good to go. Do the same thing on the other piston. This one doesn't have the scuff mark on it. It's got an acid etch mark though. See that dark area? It's acid etching. This is probably a front piston because it doesn't have nearly as much damage on it. Clean towel out again. Yeah, look at that, that's the front one. How did I know that? Okay. See if the rings look like they're installed correctly. Yep, the dot right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. Excuse me. Top rings don't matter on the Hastings. The rings are nice and free on the piston. These are not bent or warped. They didn't wrap them on, they put them on correctly. Okay, this one here, do the same thing, find the split. There's the dot right there, I can see it. Oop, right there. Get up higher, you might be able to see it. Once again, they're nice and free. Yeah, should be good. Had two bad locks. I had to go get some new locks. So in case you don't know, Wiseco makes S&S pistons. So they use Wiseco locks. That's the number. Same as an Evo motor. There you go. So now we got a pair of new ones to use. All right. I'm tired for some reason. Why am I tired? Okay, these are new gaskets. Make sure you line up the oil holes where they belong. These are for a pan head. That's why they have oil holes in them. So when you have a stroker motor, you get drain back holes. So these line up with the drain back holes. At least they should. That's one of the things we gotta look at, though. So, rear one. Front one. Be hard not to line up with that hole. Look how big the hole is. It's huge. Okay, so that's no problem. This is a gallery plug, not a feed hole. On a shovel anyway. And there's no feed hole on a shovel head. That's where a panhead hole would be. What we got to be careful about is making sure it's not so close to the edge like this one is. Looks like it might leak there. There's not much sealing right there because it's almost flush with the edge of the case. So that's a thin spot to blow through. Can't really put much in the way of sealer there because it's not going to do anything. There's no pressure on it. You have to be thicker than the thickness of the gasket, which it's not going to be. Alright, well hopefully that's not an issue. If you had a little small micro O-ring, you probably put it in there, it would help it seal a little bit. But that's probably asking for more problems. So if there's a gasket leak right there, we know why. For now, I'm just going to shove the gasket all the way this way, I think. When I tighten it down, that way at least the edge should be on the head, on the case. I'll get that out. I'm only a little tired. Okay. We need some oil in this motor. No drain down here. Nope. Lightners aren't drilled for it. So I'm going to put some oil in this motor. Alright, so we can put some braking oil in there. It'll help make the rings break in a little bit. I don't know what we got in the oil tank, but we're going to put some braking oil in here. Braking oil is made to lubricate the motor good, but also make the rings break in. Purposely made to do that. So I'm going to put not quite half a quart in there. If there's room in the oil tank, I'll put the rest in there. At least we'll have something on the motor when it fires up. Yep. I'll probably put more in there. Yeah, put a couple more drinkfuls in there. Stuff's cheap compared to Tribodyne. Still expensive though. Alright. Rod's nice and lubed. Always pour the oil on top of the rod to make sure it's well lubed. See how the rod's well lubed? It's soaking in there right now. You see oil down the bottom and down there too. So as soon as this motor starts to spin, it's going to be lubricating these pistons with everything it needs. Alright. Everything else we're going to put assembly lube on. He's putting a lot of water on this motor, so everything's starting to rust. So I'm going to go ahead and lubricate the studs a little bit with some oil. It's not going to help much, but it'll slow it down a little bit. In my bike I don't use water to clean it, I use CRC to clean it. I spray it with that expensive ass CRC over there, which is a degreaser, deruster, and rust inhibitor, water dissipant. And it leaves a coating on everything so it won't re-rust. That's what I use. Then you know, get all these rusty studs. See how these are all rusty? That brown's rust. See, everything's got rust on it. All rust. Head bolts are starting to rust. Everything's rusting. You already saw the case bolt was rusted in. Corroded in. Not rust, corroded. Aluminum corrodes, doesn't rust. Rust is actually iron oxide. It has to be iron. Okay, so that's ready to go together. So here's a rear cylinder. So I do on this, I put a little bit of oil on top of the cylinder here, a couple inch worth. Right up in here. Just kind of spread it around a little bit, about halfway around. That was one fingerful. Do another fingerful on the other half of the cylinder. That's how much braking oil. That's how much oil we're giving it. That's enough to lubricate the whole cylinder and have a bunch out the top. As the rings go down, it lubricates the cylinder. Whatever stays in the crosshatch stays. The rest of it pushes out the top. It lubricates the ring face. That's all you need. If you dunk a bunch of oil in a cylinder and squirt a whole bunch in there, all it does is load up the rings so they won't seal, makes them blow by, overheats them, makes them not want to break in. All that stuff that is not good. Okay, that one's good enough. So you can see how much oil's in there. That's a little heavy right there. That's normal. You'll see how much comes out the top later, but that's how much goes in the bottom. Okay, piston. Lubricate the wrist pin here. Has sharp edges in there. Now these I do not lubricate the wrist pin, but I lubricate the holes. Sharp. Give me again. Same spot. What the hell? It's like a knife edge in there. It's sharp. Sometimes you actually put real blood in there, so it actually is red. Okay, go. So when you squirt the wrist pin through, the bushing is already lubed over there. Both sides of the piston are lubed, so when the piston goes through, it's lubed automatically. Just like when the piston goes up the hole, it gets lubed. But I always put a little bit of oil right here in the thrust face before it drops in the hole. You do want to make sure that's got oil on it. Okay, so gasket's already on the motor, so don't have to worry about it. Okay, this is our front cylinder. This is the front piston. And I forget which way was front. I don't know where the oil ring is at, don't really care. Care about where the compression ring is at. There we go. One's over here, one's over there. 180 parts, fine. I don't know where the oil ring's at, doesn't matter. Let's see. Looks like the piston's universal how it goes in, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put the best side to the rear, which was probably the old front side. This one doesn't really look like it matters. Okay. So the wrist pin hole is toward the left. So the clip is on this side, so this will be the right side. The left side has the big drain hole in it, so this piston goes like this. That's how it came out. There's a ring out. Ring gap is right here. So you push the ring in the hole there sideways and use your fingers over here to compress it. Drop the piston down, goes right in. Gap is right here now. Drop it in. Push down a little bit. There we go. There's the O-ring out. O-ring gap's right there. Piston's in. Piston should rotate when it's in there correctly. To get this one up high enough, I can put the pin in it. Not quite high enough. Go up on that side a little bit. Go up on that side a little bit more. The oil ring is popping out right about the same spot. There we go. Okay, that one's ready to go on. This is our front. We're on the left side, so you can do on this side like this. Flip it over like that. Put the pinhole in it. Don't overhang it over the floor, it might drop to the floor. This one's trying to fall off, so be careful. Okay, we got to put this pin in there, or clip in there, I mean. You want to cover up the motor so it doesn't drop in there. More likely those are stainless, which means they're not going to come out with a magnet. Okay, so these just push in at an angle and shove them. Do not twist them like that, that destroys them. Push them with a screwdriver. Get one side going, you're just working around. You push one side in, just push, 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 and work it around. You got to try to collapse with your finger and shove it at the same time. The groove in the piston is right here is to come out, so it's nice if the groove is right here so you can pop it out later. Dangerous right now, it can pop out and hit me, but see how I got it in there right now? I just got to push it in the rest of the way, pop it in the hole over there. And you got to run make sure it's in all the way when you're done. Okay, popped. I try to rotate them. Usually you can't on these wire ones, but you try to. If you get to slide a little bit, you know it's in. That's bright. I was able to move it a little bit. Take a good look at it, make sure it looks like it's in the groove. Appears to be in there good. I'm happy. Pull that off. Take our oil. Load up the thrust faces. That's front and back. Okay. Push it down a little bit and shove it on down. Okay, now before you put that in, you got to put a head bolt in the other side over there. And make sure we lubricate it, the head bolt. Just like that. Pre-lubed. That one has to be in there. These work really good for holding it. Head bolts shouldn't fall off. Okay, then you put these with the triangle up, even though it doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, you put this head bolt in here because it's got the nut right below it here. And there ain't room to get the head bolt in there with everything assembled. All of these other head bolt holes are offset, so they're not on top of any of the other studs, so you can push them straight up. So these two outer ones here on the exhaust side have to be in there before the cylinder goes down. That's only on 80-inch motors or big bore motors. 74-inch cylinders, the studs are shorter by a 1/4 inch, you don't have that problem. It's only on these motors. Okay, we got a little slop in the cylinder here. So I always rotate toward the intake like this. That way the intake manifold gets tighter together. And I need a wrench. Fit in there. This thing's cut down, it doesn't even fit in there. It's on that side. It's going to be fun. Try not to go in a round circle on your torque. Just drop back to the front one, and wherever you want to start. Just bring it back around to the other side. Initially torqued, but they're not torqued all the way yet. Okay, now you should be able to pull up this and the piston will come up. If you had a real rough finish, you couldn't do that. I have a nice fine finish, kind of. Kind of, but not really. What that means is I have a real coarse finish in the bottom, but I got a real fine surface on the top because I plateaued on it. So the grooves, instead of being real coarse like that, on the tops are knocked down like this, so they're nice and smooth, but you have deep grooves for oil control, for holding oil. It's called plateau honing. That's why I can move the piston up and easy, even though it's fairly rough. Alright, let's see, this one here was a little partially seized on the back and not seized on the front. And it doesn't really matter how this piston goes in because it's symmetrical. So I think on this one I'm going to reverse it so that the good part is toward the back. So that means probably the pin will be on the wrong side now. So I want this to be on the back of the piston, back of the cylinder. So back on the rear is going to be away from where the center part is. It'll be right here. So that means it goes in there like this. I didn't rotate the rings yet either. Where's the rings at? One ring's there, one ring's over there, 180 over. Okay, where's the groove at? Groove. Oh, right by my thumb. Getting tired. Looking right at shit, not seeing it. Good thing I can do this stuff in my sleep, huh? See, the rings go in there. We need a ring compressor for it. Just kind of work in a circle. Okay, that is the one without the clip. So I need to get the head up high enough to get a clip in there, pin in there. Beat it back down. Okay, so this one's going to be on the right side now because we put the piston backwards. Let's do it from this side of the bike. Okay, so there's that one going in right there. Goes in like that. Put the towel over there so the clip won't fall in the hole. Clip is right here. Shove it in the hole that way. Pretty much collapse with my thumb almost all the way. Not quite that strong. Clip rotated, it's in there. Oh, it's way on this side, okay. Rotates pretty easy. It's in there. Clip is up in there real good now. It belongs. You got access to pick it out with a pick right there, so we're good. Alright. I'm going to do another head bolt over here. Lube it up. And drop the whole thing in there. Okay. And I got to lube up the piston also. Now the bad part of the piston's on the front now. The front only has loading or deceleration. So we put it in the front. You want to wiggle the cylinder as you go down so you don't get the gasket caught. Oop. The gasket can get caught, you can cut the gasket off. It's a rubber gasket. This is a metal gasket, you can cut it, but you can damage it. And you can see how we got the problem with the oil right there. It looks like the edge of the case is here, so I just shoved the gasket all the way in like I did. And see, that puts the hole, should be on top of the case where it belongs. It shouldn't blow through right there. At least that's the game plan. Okay, where's the bolt at? Second one of these. We're not going to make 4 o'clock. Maybe 5 o'clock. Hell, the sun might be coming up by the time we go home. Okay, I'm going to rotate it this way. I'm going to shove this gasket all the way in as far as I can get it. My gasket is a problem under there. Cylinder's barely even covering the damn thing. See how far it sticks out? You can see the whole damn thing under there. That's going to be a problem, I'm thinking. Yeah, that whole thing's exposed. The cylinder's so narrow it exposes the hole. Damn, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You see how the hole's exposed? I can push it all the way that way, or I can push it all the way this way. Even if I go all the way this way, it's just even with the hole, it's not covering the hole. If I push it all the way out, at least we know the center part of the gasket is on the case on the inside edge. So that's kind of crappy. I don't know. I don't think much of that. He doesn't want me to use any sealers, so otherwise I would probably put a dab of something in there and hope for the best. Twisting it doesn't help. I'm just going to shove it all the way to the right, and hopefully it'll be fine. Cutting my finger over there. Gasket sharp over there. The bike's attacking me, motor. I might cut my finger on the damn thing, whichever one was on it. Find out when I clean them. I was pushing the gasket in and trying to rotate the cylinder, which slides it across the gasket. And it's got a piece of stainless or aluminum inside the gasket, which is really sharp, and I could feel it cutting my finger. Yeah, maybe that's where it did it right there. Yeah. If it's not bleeding, doesn't matter, right? Torque. Turn the motor over, make sure everything works freely. If you rotate the motor backwards, the oil will stay in the flywheel cavity. If you rotate it normally, it blows across like normal, goes over the oil pump side. We want the oil to stay inside the flywheel cavity. So we're going to rotate the motor backwards as much as we can. So this is breaking the rings in right now, initially. Here's this finger I got. So you can see how much oil, lubricated cylinder. See, we only have a little residue on top, on both sides, all the way around. So we don't have too much extra on there. But you can see how it's all lubricated. The cylinder's wet. It's got that glaze to it, so it's all in there. How much pop-up are we getting? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's almost flush. Easy to weigh down the cylinder. And that one there is pretty much flush also. Good squish down on this one, make it run better. Okay, I want to wear it out. Alright, now I got to torque the heads down, or not, torque the cylinder base nuts down. So that goes. Get over here where I can pull on them. Torque. Torque. Torqued. Probably torque these again on the bike, but tight. Tight. That's good. Good. Tight. You want to know how much torque that was? It's this much torque. See the muscle? That's how tight it is. Yeah, about that much. That's probably more than 25 foot-pounds. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, spin it back around. Make sure there's no problems after torquing. Nope, we're good. Okay, so now I got to do the heads. Oh boy. Okay. Rust brake.